Beauty's Beasts by Alex Hansen. Chapter 1. Trigger warning for this chapter for misogyny and dead naming. I am not a woman. I repeat those words to myself again and again as I walk the cobbled street toward the general store. And I get nothing but stares and glares from those I pass along the way. A group of ladies walking the opposite way down the lane spot me, and they move over as I get closer, their dresses whispering across the stone path and their parasols bumping together as they try to give me as wide a berth as possible. One of them huffs in disgust, her eyes sliding up and down my outfit as her lip curls. I'm wearing a pair of my father's old riding boots and pants, as well as a shirt and vest set I made myself, since my father's are never big enough in the chest for me. When I left the house not an hour ago, my mother just about had a fit when she realized I was headed into the village. "Evangeline," she hissed between gritted teeth. "Go change that outfit this instant." "I'm far beyond the age where you can tell me what to wear, Mother," I replied. "And my name is Evan today." She huffed. "Keep it up, girl. There are already far too many whispers in the village about your behavior as of late. What will you do if they decide you're a witch or some other evil spirit sent by the devil to torment us all? Do you want to end up sent with the offering?" "They don't send women with the offering," I said with a roll of my eyes. "Aren't you the one claiming you're anything but a woman? You can't have it both ways." She had a point. I meet the eyes of the lady who huffed at me and give her a smile. "Mornin'," I say in the deepest voice I can manage. I've been practicing masculine mannerisms in the mirror for days like today. Days when it makes my skin itch to wear any of my dresses or to fuss over my hair. My long, dark brown locks are currently twisted up under a cap I stole from my best friend last summer. I tip it at the ladies as I stroll past. The huffy one looks like she was just asked to swallow a frog, and I can't get the smile off my face for the rest of the walk to the store. A bell tinkles as I walk in, and the shop owner's son, my best friend Will, looks up from a book he's reading behind the counter and grins.
"Good morning."
He quickly assesses my outfit, his eyes moving up and down my body in much the same way the ladies did out on the street. His face is much warmer than hers, though, as he asks,
"It's Evan today, then."
I smile and nod. Will has been my closest friend since we started school, and we've been practically inseparable since, much to the dismay of both of our families. It's not right for a boy and a girl to spend so much time together, they always argued. Girls shouldn't be climbing trees and playing in muck, and boys shouldn't be attending tea parties and playing with dolls. And yet, despite their protests, they never outright barred us from each other, probably because they knew we'd simply sneak around and do it anyway. By allowing it, at least they knew what we were up to. Most of the time, anyway. Will was the first person I told when I realized I was not a girl. He'd listened and asked questions that immediately started calling me by my chosen names. Evan on my masculine days, Eve on my feminine ones, and Evangeline on the days when that still fit me best. He was the one who came up with referring to me as they-them, instead of she-her or he-him. I'd loved the idea, and loved him even more for the respect and understanding he showed me when I needed it most. Even now, 2 years later, no one else is as considerate of my feelings as Will, except maybe my father, who's my only other source of support. "I came to pick up my mother's order," I say.
"I figured as much. It's perfect timing."
Will leans a little closer and lowers his voice even though we're the only two in the store.
"Those items you ordered came in yesterday."
My heart skips a beat. "Really?" Will winks and disappears into the back room, coming back with 2 parcels wrapped in brown paper and my mother's basket filled with her monthly order. The packages are larger than I expected. I'll have to make 2 trips to get everything to my cart on the other side of the village.
"You know your mother will have a thing or two to say about these."
He pushes the parcels toward me across the counter. "My mother always has something to say," I reply. "I may as well give her something new to complain about." Will chuckles.
"Want some help carrying these?"
"Can you leave the store right now?"
"My father is due back any minute. Can you wait?"
"For you? I suppose." I slide my arms across the counter and gaze up at him. Give me a sweet for my... Will rolls his eyes and reaches to the shelf behind him where they keep the hard candies. He fishes a peppermint sweet from a jar and hands it to me. I pop it in my mouth. You're the best.
Hurry up and get it gone by the time my father gets back, would you? He'll make me pay for it if he sees me slipping you sweets.
I smile at him with the candy stuck between my teeth. Will shakes his head and replaces the jar. Front door dings again as someone else comes into the shop. Will looks past me and stiffens.
Good morning, Pastor.
My heart does a little anxious flutter in my chest, and I turn toward the shelves to the left of the counter where I can hide my face as I stare at the displays of watercolors and paintbrushes. Pastor Elias IV has been the head of our local church for 3 decades now. His son, Elias V, is slated to take his father's place when he retires. Ever since I came out as not a girl, both of them have been absolute thorns in my backside, but I don't feel like dealing with that today. Not that I ever do.
Good morning, young man. Don't tell me your father has you stuck in here all day.
No, Pastor, just for this morning while he runs a few errands.
That's good. It's too fine a day for someone so young to be cooped up out of the sun.
I roll my eyes at the tins of pastels. Pastor Elias treats anyone who's unmarried as if they're still teenagers. Will is 20, like me, but until he takes a wife, Pastor Elias will talk to him as if he's barely more than a child.
I'll be running along to help my brother mend fences as soon as my father gets back.
I almost laugh. Will doesn't plan to do any such thing. As the youngest of 4 brothers, he gets away with just about anything, and avoiding any form of physical labor is Will's #1 priority. That's why he's here taking care of the store this morning, I bet. He likely volunteered, knowing he'd be free to go about his day after his father returned, while his brothers are stuck working on fences.
You be sure to do that.
The pastor says sternly.
In the meantime, be a good lad and fetch my wife some sugar, coffee, and 2 candles.
Coming right up.
Pastor Elias holds out a small basket, and Will takes it as he steps around the counter. I have to move to give him room to squeeze past me, and that's enough to make the pastor notice me.
Beautiful day, isn't it?
I squeeze my eyes shut. Sure is, I answer, praying my voice is deep enough he won't recognize it. Will side-eyes me as he reaches for the candles on the next set of shelves.
How's your wife, Pastor?
Thank you, I mouth as the pastor focuses again on Will instead of me.
Oh, she's fine. Just fine. She's been teaching our daughter to sew. Poor girl's struggling something fierce, but her mother won't let her give up. You'll need to know how to mend your husband's clothes someday, girl, she says. Every decent wife does.
The 2 men chat back and forth until Will sets the basket of goods on the counter and gives the pastor the total. When the pastor pays and picks up the basket, I think I just might have gotten away with avoiding him, but my hope shatters when he turns his attention back to me.
I don't believe we've met. Are you new around here, young man?
I slam my teeth together, say a prayer, and turn around. Pastor Elias sucks in a breath.
Evangeline!
I force myself not to grimace at the name.
What on earth are you wearing?
He shakes his head at me as if no answer I could give him would ever excuse such behavior.
It's no wonder your mother worries you'll never find a husband.
I raise my chin and straighten my back. It's a good thing I don't want one of those then, isn't it? I expect a horrified gasp, or perhaps for him to go red in the face in anger, but he surprises me instead by raising a single brow. The smile he gives me makes me take an uncertain step back.
We'll see about that.
He turns and leaves the store without another word. What do you think he meant by that? I ask.
I have no idea. But knowing him...
It can't be good.